Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Football Betting Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Pipkin, and I'm joined as ever by my co-host, Tom Walker.
Hi guys, welcome to the show, video and audio, new and old viewers / listeners. We're entertaining two worlds at the moment.
We certainly are. We are sponsored by our good friends at Matchbook as ever, and you can go to matchbook.com and on the registration page, use the sign-up code TFB Podcast to get yourself a £20 money back as cash sign-up offer. So please do check that one out. This week, Tom, FA Cup third round special.
Yeah, looking forward to it. The FA Cup, I feel like the rounds 1 and 2 is so murky for us that we don't really get involved with it. But once the third round comes in, National League and EFL sides take it a bit seriously. Premier League sides come into it, etc. Yeah, I think it's one of everyone's favourite weekends in the football calendar. And it's good fun it's hard to cover, but it's good fun to cover.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go through the third round, but then we're going to go through what is there of League One and League Two, picking out our highlights from the whole lot. So plenty to sink our teeth into. Before we start, as the video listeners may have noticed, I usually have a pod beer. This is the first pod of 2022, so we're now on pod water for dry January.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame. All the pubs need your support, mate. What are you doing?
Oh, jeez, yeah. We'll see how long it lasts. It won't last for long.
We'll see.
Sure.
After Forest lose 5-0 to Arsenal on the weekend, you'll be back on them. Quick mention as well for audio listeners that Kit Wars are continuing. It is currently 3-0 to myself. Tom's gone for a Roma third kit or away kit. Away kit for a couple of seasons ago, the white one with the lightning bolt, and I've gone for Nigeria as a kind of homage to AFCON that starts this weekend.
You're so annoying with your kits. You've got so many. Look at the rack. You've got so many to pick from.
Well, a rack is better than a white door, Tom. That's all I'll say. So, do you want to get started on the FA Cup then? Because even though there's no Championship or Premier League and the EFL's a bit shriveled, we were talking off air, and we do actually quite a lot of tips to get through.
Yeah, I like quite a few in the FA Cup, as you're saying. First one, 12:30 on Saturday, and this is the thing, we've got a lot of early kickoffs in the FA Cup on Saturday, and also quite a few Sundays as well. So invariably, when we come to do the Bombproof Trebles at the end of the show, spoiler alert, mine might have an early kickoff in
it. It is, for TV, etc. It's completely unavoidable, I feel like. Those that don't want to dive into that, maybe they could sub out a team or two and make their own. But unavoidable.
We'll go through that later anyway in more detail. But so to kick us off, I'm going to go for Derby County on the double chance away at Coventry City. Price is 1.88 for Derby to get the draw or the win away at Coventry. The 4.8 on the nose, if you like the look of that. And to be fair, that's not a bad price. It's a good outside pick, I think, considering, they're doing a fantastic job, to be fair to Derby. It pains me to say it, being Forest fans, but they're beating West Brom, they're beating Stoke, drew to Reading 2-2 after being 2-0 down, scoring 2 in like the last 10 minutes to come back and draw that game. They're in really good form at the moment. So I think for them to continue that against this Coventry side, who aren't playing particularly great at the moment, they've got one win in their last 8 games. They've not won in their last 6 in the league. So not on any particularly strong form whatsoever. Up against this Derby side have really got a bit of momentum about them at the moment. So the form factor played into that for one. And two, obviously Derby in the shit financially. And I was thinking, usually with the FA Cup games, we think it might be worth waiting a little bit to see when the teams come out before you put your bets on, just to see if clubs that we'd expect to win are resting a lot of players or not. I think derbies have so few players to pick from because of their situation. They're probably going to go fairly full strength in terms of their squad, just out of the fact they haven't got many other people to pick from other than who they are already picking. And second to that, they need money, and this is the FA Cup third round. A great way to get a little bit of extra cash when you need it. Have a good cup run. So again, that plays into the fact that I think they will go strong, or as strong as they can, in the hope of winning this, going on a cup run, potentially drawing some of the big boys further down the line if they can. So yeah, Derby to win or draw 1.88 looks decent to me.
Lots to get through, so won't mull on it too much. I think if this was a league game, I'd be right behind you. I think.
Yeah.
What?
Not
Imagine you're a Derby player in that dressing room, right? And Wayne Rooney goes to you, right, lads, club's in a bit of a mess financially. Let's go out and let's win the club some money. Do you think that's motivational? I don't. To kill the silence, I don't. I don't think the players in there care about the club. They care about the situation. But I'm just questioning apart from momentum, what's the point of Derby going like all out for? According to Google, 84 grand is the price for beating Coventry and going into the fourth round. So what?
Yeah, but it's not prize money, is it? It's the fact
Well,
that
you
if you
just
go
said they
into the
need
next
money.
round, no, but if you go into the next round and then you draw Man City at home,
Sutton at home,
or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying completely. If it was a league game, I'd be right behind you. But I just question why bother, basically, for Derby.
Fair enough.
That's just my thought. Okay, so we'll move on. I am going to look at Huddersfield, double chance. They are away at Burnley in the third round. It's priced at 2.08 with our friends at Matchbook. I'm worried about Burnley, Tom, this season. It's about as bad as I remember. I was really rattling my brain trying to think of another period where I was this worried about Burnley, and off the top of my head, I can't think of one. They've not won in 7. They've scored 2 goals in their last 5 games, including 3 blanks. They just can't get a goal. Traditionally, they've never really cared about the FA Cup. They've not gone past the 5th round in the last 10 years. Rotation may be in order. They don't have the biggest squad. So, who's going to come in? They're already struggling. Maybe they'll rest a few. So then we've got players that can't get into one of the worst teams in the Prem. I'm not a huge Huddersfield fan. But credit to them. No defeats in their last 6. Closing in on a playoff finish, which would be absolutely unbelievable. There's 2 sides of the coin in terms of their last 2 games. If I was going against Huddersfield, I will tell you that they've been absolutely peppered 2 games in a row, and a bit of luck, a bit of bad finishing from the other teams, and some good defending has managed to get clean sheets against Forest and Blackburn away from home, crucially away from home. Because we're going for a Huddersfield result here, I'm going to tell you that it's great resilience, great bravery, good organisational defending, and grinding out those clean sheets. I think they could take that into a potentially weaker Burnley side. Again, Huddersfield, team selection, maybe they could make the playoffs this season. Will they give a monkeys? I'm not sure. But I'm basing this on, if the 2 full-strength sides go against each other, I could see Huddersfield avoiding defeat come the 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's not one I looked at, to be honest. I kind of looked at it and thought, bit of a coin toss, but I could see why you'd go for Huddersfield double chance, as you explained. So yeah, I don't entirely disagree, but not one that I had initially, leapt off the page at me.
Important to note as well, replays this season are scrapped, so everything will be finalised on the day, extra time and penalties. So that might come into your thinking with double chance and stuff like that. There's no, let's get them back to our place for a money spinner. That doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, good point. Okay, then I've got another early kickoff to make it a hat trick. So 12:45, Millwall against Crystal Palace. Again, team sheet dependent here for Palace, but I do like the look of them. 2.18 is the price for them to get the win. And this is a Palace side. They're obviously not going to get Europe this season in the league. They're not going to get relegated unless they really spiral out of control, which I can't see happening at all. So for me, they should absolutely go all out and try and go on a cup run. Why not? That's probably, all they've really got to play for this season other than trying to finish in the top half of the Prem. So for me, 2.18 for Palace to get a win away at Millwall, who very, not in great form generally in the Championship. Millwall, very kind of win one, lose one, draw one. And then Palace, we've seen, although they have been coming up short against teams. We saw them lose 3-2 to West Ham last weekend, 3-0 to Spurs a few weeks before that. They are scoring plenty of goals. So in the last 5 games, they've scored at least 2 goals in 4 of them. And then the 3-0 defeat to Spurs is the only game where they've not scored 2 goals in the last 5. So they're in good goal scoring form. And if they take that into this game against Millwall, they do look a good price to get a win and get into the 4th round here.
Really bothers me. And survival is everything, right? The money, who knows when you'll ever be back in the Premier League should you go down. I get that that's a priority, but it really bothers me when teams like Palace don't just throw 99 out of 100 eggs into the FA Cup basket. Because they're never going to win the league. Leicester was a one-off. Maybe it will happen again, maybe it won't. But, best way of making the season memorable is choosing a cup, EFL Cup, FA Cup, and just going for it. So
yeah. And that's, I guess, why it's nice to see Leicester win it.
Exactly.
This season.
Yeah, because they did that. Exactly. Yeah. Good segue. Leicester. So obviously defending champions. They are against Claudio Ranieri's Watford. Leicester are 1.6. The league has been a bit, not a disaster, but it's not been great. I think Leicester fans were hoping to be in touch with the Champions League positions a little bit more, maybe, seeing themselves do a West Ham this season, which is what Leicester have done the last couple of years. They're having a kind of a season where they're taking a bit more of a step back from that level of play. But they have won 4 home games in a row, and they've not lost to Watford in the last 8 matches at the KP. You take away the Ranieri factor where, there's always potential for that storyline of Ranieri, knocks Leicester out of the cup and blah, blah, blah. Watford are bad. Lost 6 in a row. These two played each other on the 29th of November in Premier League action. Leicester won 4-2. I think Leicester will see this as what we just said, Tom. They'll see this as this is their best way to make the season memorable. So why chop and change against, a poor side in Watford? 1.6, I think we'll be looking back on that after the game and thinking that was a good price.
Yeah, I agreed with that one. Another one for me then, 3 o'clock, Brighton away at West Brom, 2.22 for Brighton to get the win. I feel very similarly to Brighton in this game, how I did to Crystal Palace in their game. They're going away to a Championship side who they should beat if they play a decent strength side. They're in decent form now. We saw them get the draw away at Chelsea, beat Everton as well 3-2 last weekend. So they've started to turn around their little slump in form they had kind of November, December time now. So really picked up, which is good. Bodes well for this particular pick. And West Brom, they concern me. I'm worried. We look at their last 3 results in the Champ. They lost to Derby 1-0. They drew to Barnsley 0-0, and drew to Cardiff 1-1. And these are teams who occupy 24th, 23rd, and I think 20th in the Championship. For a team that's meant to be chasing promotion, that there's some bad results. They're struggling to score goals as well at the moment, and I appreciate that Daryl DK's coming in, good signing. But whether he plays this weekend or not, I'm not sure. So I just think if Brighton turn up, play a decent strength side, they've got more than enough to beat West Brom, who are struggling at the moment.
Yeah, totally agree. That was the only question mark I had was, will DK come in and lift the place? This guy's a US international. He was causing havoc for Barnsley. He's going to be in a better team. He's going to come good. Will he come good quick enough? Not sure. I would be back in Brighton as well. Intriguing tie, Tom, at Loftus Road, I think. QPR Rotherham. Really interested to see what happens here. Both teams to score is my tip. 1.84 is the price for Matchbook. We've got the fourth best attack in the Championship against the second best attack in League One. Had a look at the table. I think if Rotherham were in the Championship this season, they would be 17th. I would have them above the following teams: Swansea, Birmingham, Hull, Cardiff, Reading, Peterborough, Barnsley, and even though I think Derby are a better team with their points deduction, Derby County. So, we're essentially looking at QPR against Swansea or QPR against Hull or something like that. QPR have lost Ilias Sher and Semi Dieng. They're the most notable absences to AFCON. So that's one of their best creators. And most importantly, their goalkeeper, Jordan Archer, is not someone I've ever thought is up to scratch. He's going to be in nets, I think, for the R's. And Rotherham have proved that, the last season when they went down, it was basically fixture congestion that relegated them. They were more than capable of being a Championship side. They've gone away, they've rebuilt. I think this is basically a Championship side, and both teams to score is something I associate QPR with often, and I will be doing so again.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to jump into Sunday quickly. I think you should, Liverpool at home to Shrewsbury is one that it goes without saying. I think Liverpool definitely get the win here. They're priced at 1.28 on the nose. So just a bit under 1 to 3, nearly 1 to 4. I do like the look of Liverpool to win and both teams to score no. That's priced at 2.5. I think at Anfield, even though Liverpool are definitely going to play a second string squad, I'd be surprised if Shrewsbury, who are down near the bottom of League One, managed to get anything against even a second string Liverpool side, to be honest here. I think we're still going to see like Origis, your Minaminos, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlains, James Milners, etc. And the team with those players in it should have enough to beat Shrewsbury to 0.
Yeah, 2 little points on that as well. I can never say his name right. Is it Kelleher? The backup?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, obviously it's very Irish. Sully from Matchbook might be able to help us out with that one. But yeah, he's obviously an outstanding goalkeeper on top of his game at the moment. And Udo, Shrewsbury's kind of big goal threat, he went down injured within 15 minutes of their last league encounter. So not sure if he'll be fit or not. Huge ramifications if he is not.
Yeah.
Wigan Blackburn, nice little Lancashire derby, local away day for Rovers. I'm going to go for both teams to score, and this is basically copy and paste of QPR Rotherham, but the League One sides at home. We've got the 5th best attack in League One against the 2nd best attack in the Championship. Both teams on really good form. Wigan no losses in 13, Blackburn no losses in 9. Wigan have scored 15 in their last 6, which obviously is around 2.5 goals a game that they've scored. And then the Blackburn have scored 10 in their last 6, which is 1.66 goals. Both are on fire. I think it'll be a decent crowd, especially with the travelling fans. And I think this one could be a little bit of a cracker. 1.7, both teams to score. Yes, please.
Yeah, I like that one. Should be a good game, as you mentioned. And I'm going to go to Forest now. I think you'll laugh.
I'll probably roll. I'll probably roll my. If you're an audio listener, I've just rolled my eyes.
No, I don't think we're going to cause the upset against Arsenal this weekend. But I do think it'll be an interesting game, an entertaining game with a few goals, as it has been recently when these two sides have met. You know, Forest and Arsenal, no strangers to each other in cup competitions, met in the EFL Cup in 2019. Arsenal won 5-0. In the FA Cup in 2018, Forest won 4-2. And in the EFL Cup in 2016, and Arsenal again won 4-0. So, you know, in the last 5 years, we've had 3 cup meetings, all with at least 4 goals in them. Arsenal have had over 2.5 goals, which is the tip, in 7 of their last 8 games anyway, in their league games. And I think, again, you might find over 2.5 here, 1.76. I think the way Forest play, I don't think, as much as we can, I don't think we're just going to sit back and let Arsenal come at us and, you know, try and nick it. I think we will try and play as much as we are able to and give it a go. And I think it will lead to goals either way. I could see us getting on the score sheet. I just think we'll probably end up losing like 3-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Both teams are going to rotate. You know, Arsenal are going to play players like Eddie Nketiah, who, you know, scored, I think, a hat-trick against Sunderland, right, in the EFL Cup. Yeah. So he's the kind of player that's going to step in. And for Forest, there are players who haven't had a chance to impress under Steve Cooper as of yet. You know, the name that leaps out to me is Forest record signing, João Carvalho. Maybe, you know, we'll see him from the start or something like that. Like, there's definitely going to be some rotation, but still good players on show. So I'm totally with you there. I'm going to back a Premier League side here, away at a Championship side. I'm going to go for Southampton. They're away at Swansea City. Southampton 2.1 with Matchbook. I just don't rate Swansea, to be honest. They get the odd result. They're languishing in 17th. Now, that is partially not their fault. They haven't actually played since the 11th of December. So since Forest went there and beat them 4-1, they haven't actually played a game. We've seen throughout the Premier League and the EFL especially, teams coming off a break are often struggling to catch up. There's no way that you can replicate, you know, the momentum and kind of intensity of regular league play. And Southampton, you know, they're coming into this, lost 1 of their last 6. Swansea have lost 4 of 6, but again, that statistic is skewed a little bit. And they've also lost Ethan Laird, who has had his loan transferred, I think is the term. He was one of their best players, and he's been taken away. So, yeah, I'm happy to back Southampton. There will be rotation for sure. I think Hasenhüttl will fall into that trap of looking over his shoulder maybe a bit too much. But 2.1, I think they should be able to see off the Swans.
Yeah, I agree. Decent price, isn't it? There's a few Premier League teams, as we've read out, away from home at champ sides who are over evens, and it could well turn out to be good prices come the end of the day. Any more from you? Because that's exhausted my list from the FA Cup.
Yeah, I've got 2 more. One's a little silly, so we'll save that one till the end. I think. Do you know what? I haven't wrote down. This is how good I am at doing this podcast that we've done for how many years. I've not wrote down the price for Boreham Wood, Wimbledon, both teams to score. So, Tom, if you don't mind, I'll rattle through why I think it will happen, and you can read the price out at the end.
Yeah, go on then.
Thanks. So strength for the National League is the first point that I'm making here. So I'm not sure if people are aware. Obviously, we don't cover the National League. It doesn't get a lot of coverage overall. But the financial fair play that restrains EFL sides is not at play in the National League. So that's why, for example, you see Ryan Reynolds, right, and his mate take over Wrexham rather than Stevenage, right? Obviously, there's other reasons, but in the National League, you can flex your muscle you can pay players basically whatever you want. There are players earning $4,000 a week in the National League. There are players in League One that don't earn that. The amount of players recently that have dropped down 1-2 divisions, right? Mullen was the big one in the summer. Sarcevic, the Bolton captain, left to go to Stockport. The National League is a rising beast, and I think it's only a matter of time before we add a third relegation spot for League Two and a third promotion spot for the National League. It just makes sense.
I was going to say, that's like, you got to do it.
It's ridiculous. You got to win the league or finish, as a playoff winner. But I think 8 teams make the playoffs. To get promoted is really hard, and there are some awful teams in League Two that don't deserve to be there over the likes of Chesterfield, Boreham Wood, etc. In the National League, Boreham Wood have got a playoff level home record. No defeats in the last 12 games and last 10 home and away. They've been unbeaten in. They got the best defence in the National League, which I know is not great for both teams to score, but my angle here is that they're tough to beat, and this is going to be a really hard game for Wimbledon, and it'll be high intensity because Wimbledon will know that they've got to go there and flex their muscles. They can't just turn up. Boreham Wood, 16 goals scored in their last 6, 2.66 a game. Wimbledon, 13 scored in their last 6, 2.16. So I think this would be a bit of a cracker, to be honest. And Tom, if you don't mind, this is Royal Mail style, delivered late, but if you've got the price, that'd be great.
1.71.
Hey, there we go. Thank you, mate. What an amateur. And the final one I've got is a little bit silly. I love to have an outsider, the FA Cup. I think underdogs are what makes the FA Cup so interesting. I'm going for Chelsea and Chesterfield, both teams to score. So it's 2.78 with Matchbook. Chelsea, obviously against elite opposition for sure. 2 clean sheets in the last 8 games at Stamford Bridge. They've conceded to teams like Burnley and Leeds, so it's not all, Liverpool and Man City, etc. Some of the worst sides in the Premier League have found the net consistently at the Bridge. We all know Chelsea will score. We all know that they'll probably win the tie. So let's not focus on them. Let's talk about Chesterfield. I think they're essentially a mid-table League Two side. We've seen that no team getting promoted from the National League has ever been relegated in their first season in League Two. Chesterfield are the second top scorers. In the National League, they have the top scorer, Kabongo Shimanga, 18 goals, apparently courted by championship clubs. Listen, it's the Champions League holders against top of the National League. I'm completely aware, but I wanted to throw something in there that was a little bit fun. And maybe Chesterfield nicking a goal. I seem to remember Chelsea going down to Bradford at home a few years ago. One can dream. 2.78 for both teams to score.
Yeah, I like it. That stat, no team promoted from the National League has been relegated in their first season in League Two. Great stat, that is. Great stat. Mate. And I'm assuming that's at the point where the conference became the National League.
Yes.
That counts from.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the last 20 years or whatever it is.
But yeah, okay. Before we move on, off the top of your head, outsider pick of the FA Cup third round, if you had to pick one, not saying it's a tip or anything like that, but if you just had to go, boom, boom, that one, that team could cause an upset.
Could cause an upset. Oof. I mean, I did nearly get sucked in by Cambridge United. They're away at Newcastle at 12.5. 12.5. I just think, who in Newcastle gives a monkeys about this game? I've mentioned before, they're on Football Manager, they're pressing spacebar, trying to get through the games. They don't want to play any matches, they just want to strengthen the side. Newcastle probably don't give one monkeys about this. Cambridge aren't very good, but, I nearly got sucked in because I just don't think Newcastle will care 1%. What about you?
Forest 6.2.
Woof! Nottingham. with heart overhead, I think, Tom. That.
Or maybe I was toying with Leyton Orient, 9.2 away at Stoke. Stoke not in great form right now.
No, they're not. Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, the FA Cup is fun. We got to keep it that way, and we got to root for the underdogs.
Okay, well, that wraps up the FA Cup. Shall we talk about our sponsors at Matchbook now, Tom?
Yes, please take it away, my friend.
Okay, so we are sponsored by the good folk at matchbook.com. You can go to matchbook.com and sign up using the sign-up code TFB Podcast and bag yourself a £20 money back as cash offer, as we mentioned at the top of the show. It's a great opportunity to go to Matchbook, try it out, place your £20 bet on a single at odds of over 1.8. If it loses, you'll get your money back in your account as cash. So completely risk-free. Give you the chance to try out the platform. They've got all the usual markets you'd expect on football. Everything from goals, handicaps, scores, players, goal scorers, etc., etc. It's all there. You don't have to stick to football. Obviously, if you do like to dabble in things like horse racing, greyhounds, tennis, Matchbook has all of that available to you as well. So please do help support the pod. Take advantage of the risk-free offer to potentially earn yourself some extra money as well. And also, Matchbook do generally offer the best price odds, particularly closer to kickoff times in the game. So if you've not got your accas on and it comes to lunchtime on Saturday and you're looking for the 3 o'clocks, check out Matchbook because you should generally get a better price on your bets than you would do on your usual sports books as well. So yeah, take the time to check it out, matchbook.com.
Did somebody say risk-free £20 bet on Cambridge at 12.5, which would return 230 quid?
You could do.
Just putting that out there. Just putting it out there.
You could put it on Forest and win.
No. Yeah, so thanks. Well said, Tom. Really appreciate all the support for Matchbook, so please check them out. League One, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I found 2 items of interest in here. I'll let you take it away with one because I think we spoke via WhatsApp, and I know that you fancy one of these.
Yeah, and I know your one, so I won't take. We have the same 2, so
yeah, okay. Short League One segment then.
Yeah. So my one was Ipswich away at Gillingham. They're priced at 1.9. Since Kieran McKenna's come into Ipswich, they've had a slight uptick in form. They have beaten Wigan 1-0 in their last game. They've also drawn to Sunderland 1-1 in the game before that, which is a very good result. The form Sunderland are in at the moment. And then before that in the league, they also drew 1-0 away at Wigan. So last 3 games since Kieran McKenna's come in, drew to Wigan, drew to Sunderland, beat Wickham. So they're 3 tough games against fellow top 6 sides, and I say fellow top 6 sides, which aren't in the top 6, but against top 6 sides, which is going to obviously give them a lot of confidence. And if they're getting draws and wins against those top 6 sides, you should definitely be beating Gillingham, who haven't won in 12, in the relegation zone. Before they drew to MK Dons and bombed my Bombproof Treble last weekend, they had lost 6 on the bounce. So this is a Gillingham side in no sort of form whatsoever, ripe for the taking. And at 1.9, Ipswich can definitely get another 3 points on the board.
Yeah, my notes here just say basically I'm betting against Gillingham. I mean, I like Ipswich. I like what McKenna's doing. I think they're looking good. But yeah, I'm basically betting against Gillingham because joint worst home record, second worst attack, bottom of the league. Rubbish. Matter of time till Steve Evans gets a chop, I think.
Yeah, should have gone Stevenage when he had the chance.
Yeah, possibly. I'm going to look at Oxford. They are away at Lincoln. They're priced handsomely, 2.3. It is lovely. Tom, did you? I knew Lincoln were lower reachers. I didn't know that they are currently occupying the last relegation spot. So if the season was to end now, the team that finished, as a playoff semi-finalist last year would be in League Two. Finalist. Finalist.
Blackpool didn't
Sorry.
in the final.
Yeah, my bad. I'm having a shocker today. They'd be in League Two, which is absolutely insane. They've got the joint worst home record in League One. That's with Gillingham. So me and Tom are going against the two sides worst at home in the entire division. They've also got the fourth worst attack. Obviously, they've lost Brennan Johnson, Morgan Rogers, George Grant. Their attack is just completely depleted. Their defensive record's not too bad. It's around the mid-table mark, but it just can't score goals. And Oxford have scored almost double the amount that Lincoln have this season. And uncharacteristically, Oxford have the fifth best defence in the league, which I don't think they get enough coverage about, because the last few years, and any team under Carl Robinson, it's always 3-2, 4-3, 3-1, 2-0. You know, it's very rare that we talk about their defensive capabilities. But yeah, fifth best defence in League Two. In League One, sorry. God, having a nightmare. So yeah, I'm back in the yellows, 2.3.
Yeah, I like it. I had that one obviously as well. It's a very good price, isn't it, for Oxford? I would have expected Oxford to be priced similar to how Ipswich are, kind of around the evens mark. So
Yeah, maybe the bookies know something we don't, or maybe Matchbook haven't realised that maybe they're pricing Lincoln up as a good team going through a bad moment. I don't know. I think they're a bad team at this stage. It's January.
Yeah, rubbish. Okay then, so that is League One done and dusted. Let's look at League Two then. I think we've also got two teams. Well, I've got two things that I like in League Two. I know that you like one of them.
Yeah.
So I'll say that one for you. I'll read out the other one that I like. Shortest price of the bunch in League Two, actually. It's 1.73. It's Tranmere to win at home to Scunthorpe. Shortest price of the lot for a reason, really, because Tranmere have flew up to fourth in the league off the back of 5 consecutive league wins in a row. So, yeah, I just think you see Scunthorpe starting to improve. They're still in 23rd in the league, so currently in the relegation zone. But yeah, starting to see a few shoots that they may mount something of a survival challenge, but you know, they're coming up against a juggernaut at the moment in Tranmere off the back of those 5 wins, looking to make it 6 in the league. If you look at Tranmere's home form as well, they've won 3 in a row. They've played 10 at home. They've won 7. They've won 5 of those 7 to nil as well. So they're winning plenty of games to nil at the moment. Gone back to that, we spoke at the start of the season how Tranmere were, they'd scored about 10 goals and conceded about 8 goals in the first 10, 11 games or something stupid like that. They're very tight, cagey games, lots of 1-0 wins, and they're kind of going back to that now, lots of 1-0, 2-0 wins. So yeah, I think 1.73 for Tranmere to get a win is a good price.
Yeah, I'm a Keith Hill believer. I'm a little bit. I think Tranmere will win. I just want to make that clear. I think they will win. I am a bit nervous about going against Scunthorpe because they're clearly improving every single week. They have had a few dodgy results for sure. When the onus is on them, apart from the Oldham win, they seem to struggle a little bit. But when they are outsiders, they've got an awful knack of just nicking a draw. So I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, Tranmere back to that kind of unsustainable defensive model where they're just not letting any goals in at all. I don't know if they're still doing it by January. I don't know if you can call it unsustainable anymore. I'm not sure, but yeah, I do like the pick. Tom, price of the weekend for me, even better than Oxford. We are by 1 point. We're going to go for Sutton. 2.34. They're away at Oldham. I mean, Oldham just hate playing at home. They absolutely hate it, both from a narrative perspective and a statistical perspective. It's the worst record in the league, their home form. They've got the narrative of the fans protesting against the owners in a different way every single week. They did Pack the Park, where every single Oldham fan that they could find came to the game to show the owners, this is what is possible at Oldham. These are the attendances. This is the support. The fans never stopped singing. They bought banners. They bought everything you could imagine. Then the next home game, they did Empty the Park, where they boycotted it. So the owner could see, that kind of contrast. So they're always coming up with different things. It's clearly affecting the players and the performance on the field. They've got just 9 points from home games this season. It's January. It's appalling. They've also got the worst defence in the league, and they're basically a National League side at this moment. They've not won their last 6. And Tom Sutton, fit nicely the statistic that you liked earlier with the National League sides just not getting relegated. Sutton are looking at back-to-back promotions. This kind of stuff only happens in Football Manager, I think. They're flying high in 3rd. They occupy an automatic promotion spot. They're typically better at home, so they got the best record in the league, actually, at home. They're not too bad away from home. It's kind of the 8th or 9th best, but I'm backing that against the worst home record and all the stuff that's going around Oldham. Sutton are on fire, and I don't see why we can't back him at 2.34.
It's a great price, isn't it?
Unbelievable price. I think
Sutton were one of those teams where you look at the league table and you go, bloody hell, how did you get there?
Yeah. And do you know what? Like, maybe if Sutton were called Bradford City, the price would be shorter. I don't know.
100% it would be. Yeah, 100%. Definitely. Any more, though, for you in League Two? Because I don't.
No. Looking at last week's Bombproof Trebles then, I mean, I'll get mine kicked off. Mine turned into a double that didn't win, unfortunately. Had the Forest Barnsley game was postponed due to COVID-19 outbreaks. Had Blackburn to beat Huddersfield at home. That ended 0-0. And I had Oxford to beat Cheltenham at home, and that ended 1-1. So not the best weekend for me. You did come a bit closer.
Yeah, well, we said there'd be something wrong if this one didn't win. And unfortunately, MK Dons were the one that managed to mess it up. So I had Forest Green to win at home to Stevenage. They did so 2-0. Rotherham to win at home to Bolton. They did so 2-1. And then we needed MK Dons to win at home to Gillingham. And we spoke about how poor Gillingham's form is. And it was 0-0 despite MK Dons kind of being on top and peppering them for pretty much the whole game. So, yeah, just unfortunately couldn't find the breakthrough that we needed and cost us the Bombproof Treble.
Yeah, disappointing, but new week, new opportunity. So if you haven't guessed already, this is the part of the show where me and Tom will put together all of our knowledge, research, insights, whatever you want to call it, into 2 trebles, 1 each. We'll be backing our own bets with £10 stakes. We're in a fortunate position where we can lose that money every week and still be financially comfortable. And if you can't afford to lose that money, that's absolutely fine. Please keep within your limits. It's not a competition, and no one should be ridiculed for, putting 25p bets on. It's all down to what you can afford. It's supposed to be fun. So let's keep it that way, and everybody gamble responsibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I will get mine kicked off. I'm dying to read it out. I think it's going to win. I think it's going to win every week. But mine's all away games. So I've called this the Stone Island Treble because this is just pure away days. So we're going for FA Cup action. Southampton 2.1 away at Swansea. Then we're going to drop into League One. We're going to go for Oxford 2.3 away at Lincoln. And then we're going to drop to League Two, and we're going to take the tip I just read out. Sutton away at Oldham 2.34. £10 on, 113 and 2 pence back. It's a big one.
Yeah, that is a massive pay and treble.
It's a big one.
we're taking advantage of good odds here, aren't we? That's what we think we're doing. We've got 3 teams, as you've justified throughout the show, we're all over evens, all in good form against teams in pretty poor form. So, yeah, hopefully it comes through for us and it goes to form. Because if it does go to form, it's a nice winner, that is.
Everyone will be laughing but Matchbook if it comes in.
Okay, so my treble doesn't pay as much as yours. I've got Derby on the double chance, so that's draw or win away at Coventry. And that is the early kick-off klaxon that we alluded to at the start. Then Ipswich in League One, they're 1.9 to get the win. And then Tranmere, 1.73 in League Two to also get the win. £10 example stake on that one returns 61.80.
Yeah, again, right? Bottom of League One against a promotion chasing team. Second bottom in League Two against a promotion chasing team. And a mid-table side without the points deduction, avoiding defeat at a team that is slowly dropping league positions in Coventry. So, obviously, I mentioned I wish the Coventry Derby game was a league game because then I'd be 100% behind it. But I'm still way in the 90s, 95% behind you on that one. So, yeah, all the best, mate. Let's take a little look at fancy football. Now that's finished. Do you know what? Like, I know I'm wearing a Nigeria shirt, right? I did not realise how many African players I had. I checked my team the other day, and I was not going to be able to have enough players to fill a team. So I had to make a lot of sacrifices and get rid of a lot of players. But yeah, did you go up? Did you get the green arrow, the red, the grey circle?
Now I got the green.
Oh, look at you!
I'm up to 142 in the Football Betting Podcast League.
Not bad. At a 261, I think that's commendable.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like it's over yet either. I've still got 3 West Ham players that have still got a game, it says.
Okay. Well, at the moment, I'll read out the top 10 in reverse order. We got Vincent Rayner in 10th, Chris Hindle, David Doherty, Brian Grant, Ahab Piquad, Chantel Cruikshanks, Sam Barnard, Oliver Hogden, David Brown, and a new leader, I think, Luke Stevens.
Yeah, I think so.
He actually has the same points as David Brown, so I'm not sure how he's top over David, but he is. Not sure, but good for him. LSFC, Luke Stevens Football Club. So good for them. Up the LSFC, I say.
Yeah, well played, Luke. Hit us up on social media. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want the league code to join the league, £20 for you bet on offer for the winner. And if you are not in the league, you'll join wherever you rightfully belong, with regards to your points tally.
Yeah, T_FB podcast is the place to be on Twitter. Please join our road to 2,000 followers. We're creeping there ever so gently, so please give us a little nudge. What are we on? About 1,800.
Oh, yes, we're getting there.
Yeah, road to 2K. I see YouTubers say that all the time. Like, road to 250K and all that. I don't know.
Well, we're YouTubers now, the podcast.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Road to 2K.
Love it. So, yeah, please do take the time to leave a rating or review if you have enjoyed the podcast. We'd really appreciate that one. And, of course, check out matchbook.com. Take advantage of that free sign-up offer, that money back as cash sign-up offer, using the code TFB podcast during the registration stage.
Yeah, so thank you so much for listening, watching, whatever. Really appreciate it. And good luck this weekend with the bet slips.
And don't forget to vote for me in the kit poll. Please. See you next week, guys.